The Cliffy Miller Yard will look forward to the forerunners on Friday, and we'll be hearing more about them shortly from Nick Paddock. Now, first up in race 6, 2 runners, and here we start with Union Rose. Now, he's got an unfortunate draw to overcome, but he is a previous track and trip winner. He'll be joined by Lancia Fear Me, who's in the box behind us. He did show improvement last time out, and Nick, I'm sure you'll be hoping for more.
Yeah, he's going to enjoy the step up to the mile. 14 was a touch on the sharp side, never quite got into the race, and he did finish it off quite nicely. So he's looking for a touch further. Probably 2,000 was going to be his game in time to come. He's still a big baby and still very immature, but he's a nice horse, and I think pencil him when he goes a touch further, but this is just a run to bring him along and carry on keeping him ticking over. And then Union Rose, his form of late has been a bit poor. His last two have been very disappointing, and in his last start he was in the box seat, and he never quite kicked on, and he quite flattened out, and he's got a tough draw. I'm not sure about the mile. We're giving one more bash to see, and hoping he can run a bit of a better race, unless he's going to be dropped back to a 14.
Play Act was expected to need his last. Now on Friday he'll cut back to the 5 furlong trip of the Fairview Flying 5, which is a non-black type feature.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have run him on the poly that day. He jarred up quite badly again. There was always a plan to drop him back to 1,000 once again his program was finished, and I think we were quite excited to see him drop back to the sprints, and I think he's probably done his best races over that type of trip. I think he could be a dark horse. He's really come well, and he's moving a hell of a lot better, and I think he could be a dark horse. If you look at his earlier form behind King Dundee, yeah, I think he was running 4 lengths in juvenile form. He was running 3-4 lengths behind him, and now he's getting at level weights. Now we're getting about 6 kilos, I think. So on that type of form, you've got to throw him in, and he's the kind I think could be the lurker in the race.
Champanel will close for the yard in race 8. Now he has run 2 cracking races out of the maiden so far, going down second in both by very competitive margins.
Yeah, 2 cracking post-maiden runs. Last time he was a bit of an unlucky loser, I thought, and he's going to run a very big race again. I think he's drawn a little bit better. He's not drawn 20, he's drawn 11, so it's half the battle won, I think, especially now with all the rain coming. I think he does rain dances, that chap, but he's doing extremely well, I think, off a competitive mark and a winnable mark, especially in these classifieds. And there's a few horses. It's a very competitive race. There's a few horses obviously you can make a case for, but I think he's definitely the one who's going to be on top of most people's lists, and I think he's definitely on top of mine as well.
Have to agree, he's a stunning looking chap. He's in super form, and he would be a very well deserved winner.